Hey guys, sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. You might notice that while I was gone, the channel name changed. It used to be TV and Sin, and now it's Skipper. I don't feel like TV and Sin really makes sense as a name anymore. It did back when I was doing reviews and shit. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So, I found a re-upload of a deleted PragerU video. Now, if you don't know what PragerU is, first of all, I envy you. Second of all, let me quickly get you up to speed. Think BuzzFeed, but for conservatives. They're most famous for their 5-minute videos where they get different guest speakers on to talk about a topic for 5 minutes in a very monotone voice. And they're also known for their amazing use of graphs to support their evidence. They used to have a few videos with conservative comedian Owen that they had to delete after he started to become sort of an anti-Semite Holocaust denier. To give you an idea of how much of a piece of shit this guy is, let's just read this caption for his Instagram post.
I never openly mocked the Holocaust so much until I found out that Anne Frank was fake.
Already, we're off to a fucking cracker of a start. No, in Australia, that's just an expression. I don't mean cracker as in, like, white person. But anyway, even if it was, I'm a white person. I'm allowed to reclaim that slur.
It is so fucking insane to me that the character of Anne Frank was a hoax.
How do you fuck up spelling that so badly? This angers me. This is already worse than Holocaust denial.
That I legit don't care if I hurt your feeling, Jews! We were all forced to read that shit and get super emotional. The fucking pen hadn't even been invented yet. Look it up. This is a historical fact. Anne Frank never existed.
Compared to a lot of other lefties, I can be pretty sympathetic to the it's just a joke defense. I like edgy humor, and there are sort of a lot of lefties that get offended over anything, but there is no conceivable way anyone could make this excuse for Owen Benjamin, because there's nothing in this that indicates that he's joking. But anyway, this video isn't about Owen Benjamin's, well, you know, fascism. It's about watching him do a PragerU video where he outs himself as the least funny man alive.
Back to the lab again. Oh no, back to the lab again. We messed up. Back to the lab again. Not again. Back to the lab again.
And as someone who makes his living as a comedian, that's a big problem. Ask Jerry Seinfeld. He's announced he won't play college campuses. He doesn't want to deal with all the political correctness. And he's not exactly edgy.
Okay, here's going to be the first and only olive branch I offer. And that's that, as I said, there are some lefties who are too sensitive to jokes. But while I like edgy jokes, what's annoying is the people who make edge the whole fucking joke. Like, they'll just say something racist sounding, imagine in their head an SJW getting triggered, and then laugh at that SJW that lives inside their head. Edginess can add flavor to jokes. Edginess isn't a joke. I like to say that conservative comedy is a bit like a pizza cutter. It's all edge, no point, and completely circular.
Comedy is important. Why? Because it's a pressure valve that allows us to discuss uncomfortable truths in a friendly way. Laughs are better than punches.
Laughs are better than punches. Okay, this just sounds kind of like a really shitty t-shirt slogan. Two people meet. He's wearing a shirt that says, laughs are better than punches. She's wearing one that says, live, laugh, love. Then a third person comes along, and he's wearing a shirt that says, barbecue, beer, freedom.
How many times have you heard someone say something like this? You're not black, so you don't know what it's like to be me. You're a man, so you can't have an opinion about any issues affecting women. As a left-handed pansexual leprechaun, only I really know about elevator safety.
Okay, this was the first attempt at a joke, and it's only going to go downhill from here. Let's go. But to address the point that he's trying to make, the people who say, oh, you're white so you can't have an opinion about black issues, you're a man, you can't have opinions about feminism, those people are annoying as fuck. I don't see what that has to do with comedy. At all.
Comedy only works when we agree on certain realities. Take this joke. Why do you always go fishing with at least 2 Baptists? Because if you only take one, he'll drink all your beer.
What?
The reason this gets a laugh is
But it doesn't get a laugh.
many religious people are a little more religious around other religious people. That hypocrisy is funny.
It's not funny though.
We're all a little hypocritical now and then.
Alright, now I'm starting to see how this resonated with PragerU fans.
I recently did a joke on stage. People keep comparing Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler. He's nothing like Hitler. Hitler would have never let CNN talk like that. Anderson Cooper wouldn't have made it through the night of the long knives.
This doesn't even sound like a joke. It sounds like you're trying to make a political point. This is the reason that a lot of political comedy, in general, is so shit. This isn't meant to make you laugh, it's meant to make you agree. I'm not against political comedy at all. I think, for example, George Carlin is great, and despite what a lot of people like this will tell you, was quite leftist. The difference is that he actually gave a shit about being funny, not just getting people who agreed with him.
That joke requires us all to agree, and stick with me here, that Hitler was a bad, bad man.
Wait, then how did you understand the joke, Owen?
But since we now live in a world where some stupid people like Hitler, and some other stupid people think Trump is Hitler, well, we just can't agree that this obviously absurd joke is funny.
Oh my god, how arrogant do you have to be to think that the only people who don't find your shitty joke funny either have to be pro-Hitler or believe that Trump is Hitler? I am not pro-Hitler, and I think Trump and Hitler are very different people. Hitler can paint, and still thought your joke was shit. Also, it's really funny watching you do this enlightened centrist shit in relation to Hitler when,
See, this is the thing, the Jews aren't gonna win, guys. Not only are they not gonna win, this happens over and over and over again in history. Right now, they're at the end of their delusional fantasy.
How about this? Why did the chicken cross the road? Why is the rooster being paid more for crossing the same road?
Damn, bro, you got the whole squad laughing.
also look at the foul play sign in the corner. It's not fucking clever. This actually makes me think I could be a stand-up comedian, and I don't think that I'm that funny. I just think that I'm funnier than this retard. That's called having basic self-respect.
During the run-up to the release of the movie Black Panther, all the marketing push was about how, finally, there was a black movie made by black people, with black people for black people. I found this to be fairly hilarious, so I simply took any statement about the film and responded as a white person that actually had that insane way of viewing the world. I just saw the trailer for Black Panther. Ugh, no white people. Looks terrible. Hard pass. Who am I supposed to relate to? No one's white.
This is too unfunny. I can't do it anymore. It was nice having a YouTube channel while it lasted.
Not one, but two prominent black actors, Don Cheadle and Jeffrey Wright, started tweeting me about how it's time black people had a movie and how I should be more sensitive to their situation. Keep in mind, both of these black actors are already rich and famous. I figured this was such an obviously satirical take on identity politics that no one could miss the joke.
He thinks they missed the joke. I actually feel kind of bad for this guy. He's convinced himself that the reason no one likes his shitty jokes is because of SJWs and cancel culture and political correctness, because he's so in denial about how unfunny he is.
Nobody takes themselves more seriously than these former comedians. Seems like Jimmy Kimmel cries more often than he tells jokes these days. And Stephen Colbert is just Rachel Maddow with punchlines.
I don't know shit about Kimmel or Colbert. I can't remember ever seeing a segment from them. I can't remember ever watching them. They're funnier than you. They might be really unfunny. They might be unbearable to watch. I don't know. I don't care. They're funnier than you.
They're only telling jokes for half the country now.
If half the country laughs at their jokes, that's still half a country more than anyone who would laugh at yours.
Back to the lab again. Oh no, back to the lab again. We messed up. Back to the lab again. Not again. Back to the lab again.
Owen Benjamin is worse at comedy than I am at social skills. To put that in perspective, I'm an autistic 17-year-old whose favorite hobby is internet politics. Now, I like edgy humor, and I think there are a lot of lefties who are too sensitive to jokes, but conservatives have done more damage to comedy than any SJW. They've co-opted edgy humor to the point where to be an edgy comedian, you just have to say something that sounds vaguely racist or anti-trans or whatever. They don't actually give a shit about being funny. What they give a shit about is CNN writing an article saying that their controversial joke went too far. When they go to think of new material to write down for the next stand-up piece, they're not thinking, how can I make people laugh? They're thinking, how can I epically own the SJWs and make it into the news? This isn't just Owen Benjamin, this is almost any mainstream conservative comedian. Stephen Crowder, Isaac Butterfield, the list goes on. I kind of miss the era of leftist counterculture. You know why? Because now that that's gone, conservatives think that they're the new counterculture, and they're really fucking bad at it. And this isn't just stand-up comedy. Whether we're talking about fucking Tom McDonald doing his rap songs about how white people are oppressed.
I'm just straight and white and male, I'm not the worst, I'm just a guy.
Whether we're talking about how people use the term intellectual dark web to refer to obscure figures such as Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro, I can't fucking believe that we let boomer traditionalist conservatives pretend that they're edgy and alternative. When Montero came out, they screamed about satanic shit being taught to our children. When Mr. Potato Head took Mr. out of its name, they said that this was the end of man and the end of traditional gender roles in the West, and they had a fucking freak out over it. They're not edgy, they're not provocative, and anyone who says that conservatism is the new counterculture should instantly be laughed out of the fucking room. They're not the fucking new punk rock, they're status quo warriors.